You wake up or you never really slept. And just for a second, maybe a millisecond, you forget what happened. And then it lands. You've got an unfamiliar ceiling, maybe an unfamiliar pillow. And then you notice the takeout container from last night, the phone that you chucked across the room because you didn't want to answer any texts. I woke up. I was in a strange cold house and I felt like I hadn't slept a second. The adrenaline that carried you through the last few days of making a decision and leaving, it's gone. And in its place usually is a question, what the hell have I done? So that crash is real, but it's lying to you. Last night, I'm sure you were sure. This morning, you're sure of the opposite. It's not new information. It's that adrenaline crash speaking. The body that's been running on adrenaline for the last few days, that gets bottomed out. And when you have that happen, that bottomed out feeling, that bottomed out adrenaline reads like, this is unbearable and this is a mistake. But these are emotions. It's withdrawal from the adrenaline. Don't trust a body that hasn't slept. I will say, don't redecide today if you're going to get back together. You might have a moment of, oh my God, what have I done? And have huge regret. You might not. But there might be a big pull to undo everything from last night. It might be even sending a text, I'm so sorry, I made a mistake, let's try again. Or going and crawling back just to make that horrible empty feeling stop. Maybe reconciliation is right one day, but don't make it as a panic move to kill that feeling. That's how a man re-enters that cycle and ends up doing this whole thing over again in a year. Today is not for relitigating. It's for getting through today. So what you really need to do today is something concrete. Get up and get moving. Moving your body is going to help change your chemistry faster than thinking will. Thinking won't help at all. Probably the best thing I did is, it was the middle of January and I got up and went for a walk. And middle of January in Canada is bloody cold. It must have been -20. And I'm pretty sure I got frostbite on my cheeks. It's a mile walk from the house to the corner and back. And that got me out of my head and moving. So go to the gym, take a shower, just do something. Have something for breakfast. You might not feel like eating. Fuel your body. Go have coffee with somebody who you connect with, who doesn't have an agenda and maybe even leans a little more on your side. Go have coffee with family. Pick something that gets you up and moving. Could be work, could be an errand, just so that your day has purpose to it. If you sit around and not have anything to do and the day is empty, you're going to go on her socials or look at old messages, or you're going to rerun last night over and over again in your head. That courtroom in your head is not going to be productive when you're in this place. The doubt is going to be there and you don't have to obey it. You don't have to feel good about where you are. And trust me, you won't for a long time. Not for a week, not for a month. It might take a year or two. But that's not a sign you are wrong. That's a sign you're in an uncomfortable position. That's all it is. So doubt, guilt, the urge to fix it, just let it stick. Let it stick around. Think of it as weather and not a verdict. The questions like, what have I done? Am I wrong? Should I go back? Those are all questions that crash, that adrenaline crash asks. You don't have to answer it today. I have 2 boys, and waking up in a house without them was its own level of hell. It's a specific gut punch that just rips out your heart. And we had a house that was probably too small for all of us, and they would often come wake me up, or I would wake them up, and they were on me. They would play with me, and I'd throw them around the house, and we'd wrestle and do all that kind of stuff. I was the one who made breakfast for them. And it was the thing that was hardest for me, especially in those early days and weeks, was how empty that house felt. It was cold, and I didn't have that time with them. And I really missed that time wrestling and fighting with them, playing with them. So I can tell you now that they're grown up, that you don't lose a connection with them by sleeping somewhere else. It's hard, but missing a morning isn't losing your kids. Being connected to your kids is you showing up steady and being there over time. And that's much better than being around, but not fully present, or worrying for your relationship. So the first morning, that can be much worse than the first night. The shock is worn off and reality has started to set in. It's normal, and it will move through. There's a morning not as far off as this one feels, where you wake up and the first thing you feel isn't dread, and the first thing you think about is not your ex, where a day starts to be a day. You're not going to feel that today. You're not going to feel that tomorrow. But you laid the first stone last night, and you're still standing this morning, and that matters. So today's job is small. Get up, move, eat. Don't undo anything in a panic, and get yourself to tonight. Don't redecide your life on no sleep. I'll see you in the next video.